What a rare beast is this car, powered by a rotary engine. Incredible and unique sound, crazy RPMs, and this is all in one of the most beautiful Japanese coupes of the 1990s. Disputes about this unique sports car are still fresh even now. So let's see why this Mazda RX-7 has the status of an iconic car. Until the mid-1960s, Mazda was a conventional manufacturer of subcompact cars. Their production of small and popular cars constantly brought stable profit, but company's president Tsuneji Matsuda understood that in the changing automotive world and rising competition, Mazda cars needed to stand out to be a step ahead of its competitors. Matsuda found out about this unique rotary engine that was developed and improved by German engineer Felix Wankel. And in the early 1960s, Matsuda visited Wankel lab, explored his engine potentials, and realized that this is what is needed for his company. He immediately bought production and development license for this engine, and soon Mazda formed a team of 47, the most promising young engineers, who were nicknamed 47 Ronin by analogy with the Japanese folklore. The task was to create an engine based on the Wankel engine, which could be used in cars. But why Mazda was so interested in such a unique engine? First of all, its simplicity. In a regular engine, pistons make reciprocating motion up and down or side to side, and many engine parts are involved in rotation of its crankshaft. But the rotary engine has no reciprocating parts in it. Its central part, the rotor, is moving in waves, which is a circular motion. This engine has no pistons, no connecting rods, and no valve heads. Rotary engine doesn't have any of those parts that take up extra energy and extra lubrication. It's ingenious and simple in its own way, but even this design has its own flaws. And after 5 years of hard work, number of trials and errors and fine-tuning, the new engine started taking its shape. The first coupe with a rotary engine appeared. It was Mazda Cosmo Sport. To prove the reliability of the engine, Mazda tried Cosmo Sport in 84-hour race at Nürburgring in Germany, and one of two participating cars took the 4th place in overall race score, losing only to Porsche 911 and Lancia Fulvia. And since then, Mazda rotary cars started to perform on racetracks more often. But the most incredible showcase of rotary engines was the world's oldest active endurance racing event. It's the 24-hour of Le Mans rally in 1991, when 700 horsepower Mazda 787 won this rally by taking over Mercedes and Jaguar, and this was remarkable. Is this the end of the conventional engine, some magazines wrote back then? But this excitement did not last a long time. The next year's competition rules were changed and participation of rotary engines was banned. But this win was so significant in the automotive world that even such a conservative car manufacturers like BMW, Mercedes, Citroën and Chevrolet tried research and development of their own rotary engines. But only Mazda, with its Japanese persistence and dedication approach to business, succeeded bringing the production of rotary engines to several car generations. And this is how this engine became one of the hallmarks of Mazda in the world. And the car that made rotary Mazdas well known was Mazda RX-7. There were a total 3 generations of this legendary Mazda RX-7, but the most famous model was released in 1991. Everything in this car was special. Its engine had not only excellent power and specs, but also the weight of only 120 kilograms. Its compact size allowed to place it behind the front axle, giving the car ideal weight distribution along the axis. This setup gave it a great controllability at any speed, and that was noticed by all car journalists of those years. Its very low weight of 1250 kilograms and its engine power somewhere between 255 to 280 horsepower, depending tuning on version allowed this new car to accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour in just 5.3 seconds. Its excellent chassis and the engine that could easily get up to 9,000 RPMs, and there is also its exhaust sound. There is nothing that sounds like its exhaust. Mazda RX-7 quickly became popular all over the world, and a large contribution was made by Japanese culture in the popular TV series like Initial D and then Need for Speed game. And then there was Fast and Furious, where in the first part Vin Diesel drives RX-7. But the most popular Fast and Furious RX-7 was this one, yellow, with a body kit from Wheelside Company. It's difficult to even recognize RX-7 in it. This body kit extended the car by 30 centimeters with arches and wheel extensions, and its engine was boosted to 450 horsepower, which allowed its 0 to 100 or 62 miles an hour time in just 5 seconds. Originally, this Mazda RX-7 from Wheelside was built to participate in the Tokyo Auto Show, where it received many awards. And at that time, this body kit was priced at around $12,000. But then it was noticed by Universal Picture representatives of the Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, and 3 of these cars were built for the movie, and at the end one of them was destroyed. And another big fan of rotary Mazdas is Mad Mike Vendette. He is a professional drifter from New Zealand, and he does spectacular things with his RX-7. And he's famous for his performance racing and his videos where he's drifting 700 horsepower RX-7 in the most beautiful parts of the world. And if a conventional RX-7 engine has 2 sections of rotors, then Mike went further and 2 more sections were added to the engine. So these and other improvements allowed this turbocharged 4-sectional rotary engine to produce 700 horsepower. Actually, this engine has a lot in common with the legendary winning engine from Le Mans. It was also 4-sectional, and a lot was done in the huge list of its improvements. Recently, Mike and his team built a performance version of Mazda MX-5 with a rotary engine that has 1200 horsepower. And the sound of this monster engine is just incredible. But why this engine still did not get as much popularity as the regular one? Unfortunately, in addition to obvious advantages, it also has limitations. But first, let's see the advantages again. It is smaller in dimensions and weight compared to conventional internal combustion engine. It has higher power output from the smaller volume of the combustion chamber. Rotary engine has less parts, and it's able to develop higher RPMs at low vibration levels. It is well balanced and has excellent dynamic numbers. And as for disadvantages, it has an increased fuel consumption at low speeds, short engine resource, as it is rare for this engine to go over 150,000 kilometers or no more than 100,000 miles. Its seals are wearing out faster, so the combustion gases break out, decreasing power. It needs less lubrication but has higher oil consumption, and more frequent oil changes recommended. And it has overheating tendency and a complex maintenance. There is a lower number of repair specialists also. So all of this and constantly tightening environmental standards forced Mazda to stop its production in 2012. This was the year when the last rotary Mazda came off the assembly line. It was Mazda RX-8. But this is not the end of rotary engines. Not a long time ago, at the 2017 Tokyo Motor Show, an incredibly beautiful concept car was revealed. It was called Mazda RX Vision, and Mazda representatives said that a production version of this car is in development. And what is most interesting is that it will have a rotary engine according to Mazda representatives. A new rotary engine will be improved and free from the previous flaws. So there is a high chance that soon we will see a new successor to the legendary Mazda RX-7. But what do you think? What kind of engines are the most likely to survive in the next 50 years? Is it a regular piston engine, or is it a rotary engine, or electric, or maybe hydrogen fuel cell? That's all I have for you today, guys. Check out my channel for my other videos, but for now, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.